see it.
For decades, people have whispered about shadows in the woods. These Bigfoot encounters, caught on camera, suggest that maybe the legend is more than just a story. What you're about to see will make you question every step into the forest. Set up at a modest campsite, a trail camera in British Columbia recorded a chilling noise. In 1970, Ron Moorhead was on a camping trip in the Sierra Mountains when he documented something completely out of the ordinary.
There's two of them across the creek at the big rocks.
From across the creek near the large boulders, two distinct sources of sound could be heard. The recording picked up unsettling, low-toned chatter and mysterious vocalizations that didn't resemble any known animal calls. To this day, many insist the haunting audio may have captured the voice of Bigfoot. On July 21st, deep within the forests of southeastern Oklahoma, a hiker from South America began to notice unsettling sounds as he wandered late into the night. Feeling increasingly uneasy, he took out his camera and started to film. What he captured was chilling. At least two towering figures, silent and disturbingly human-like, shifting among the trees. They bore every hallmark of the classic Bigfoot description: enormous stature, a coat of thick black hair, and glowing eyes that no costume or hoax could ever convincingly imitate. On March 5, 2025, two couples set out for a hike through a small clearing in the Colorado mountains, something they had done many times before. But on this occasion, something felt off. They soon noticed the sound of heavy footsteps, followed by strange, incoherent chatter echoing from the trail ahead. Moments later, they caught sight of it. One of the hikers managed to snap a quick photo, which was later shared online by the account Squatchwatch1. The image reveals a tall, hunched figure, moving just a short distance away. What drew particular attention from researchers was the creature's proportions. Its arms extended unusually low, hanging past the knees. Colorado has a long history of alleged Bigfoot encounters, but some believe this could be one of the clearest photographs ever captured of the legendary beast. While hiking alone through the thick forests near Manila, Utah, a man stumbled upon something unusual on camera. In the distance, he noticed a huge, fur-covered figure before it quickly slipped back into the trees. At the time, he wasn't certain what he had witnessed. It wasn't until he reviewed the footage later at home that he realized the entire encounter had been captured. The question remains, was this truly Bigfoot, or just someone roaming the woods in a costume seeking attention? In May 2025, a man recorded footage near Coyote Ridge in the eastern Sierra, more than 10,000 feet above sea level, while out filming his dogs. Behind the trees, a dark figure moved steadily through the snow.
Be careful.
What stood out was the way it walked, smoothly, with almost no bounce, completely unlike a human stride. No one else had been seen in the area that day, and while some suggested it could have been a person bundled up in a heavy winter coat, it made little sense for anyone to be wandering alone so deep in the wilderness. Why would someone be out there, silently observing from a distance? Bigfoot, a person, or something else entirely. Around the same month, another video surfaced, this time from Germany. It showed a hairy, upright creature making its way through the woods. The date, location, and identity of the person behind the camera remain a mystery. The creature's fur looked tight against the body, shifting naturally with its movements, and it showed no reaction to the person filming. But without any verifiable information, viewers were left questioning whether the clip was authentic or simply another elaborate fake. A Reddit user shared that his uncle, who owns a 20-30-acre property in Colorado, had recently sent a photo to their grandmother. According to the uncle, the picture might be evidence of a Bigfoot sighting on his land. The poster admitted they weren't entirely convinced, especially with so many AI-generated images spreading online today. They turned to the Reddit community, asking for second opinions on whether the photo could be genuine. Most replies suggested it resembled a cardboard Bigfoot cutout more than anything else. And in the end, the user agreed. This image seemed just a little too perfect to believe. On May 30th, 2025, a family living on a heavily wooded property recorded something truly unsettling. The footage revealed a tall, ape-like figure moving silently among the trees. Even in the dim light, certain features stood out clearly: its wide shoulders and an unusual, almost human-like stride. When the video was later brightened to expose more detail, the questions only grew larger. Was this nothing more than someone in a costume, or had they actually captured a genuine creature on camera? This individual had placed a trail camera deep in the forest, expecting to record nothing more than the usual wildlife. But when he later retrieved the device and reviewed the footage, he was stunned by what appeared on the screen. A dark, upright figure could be seen making its way down a steep, leaf-covered slope. Its form was unusual: long arms swinging low near the thighs, a stocky build, and no clearly defined neck. Some now wonder if this could be one of the clearest recordings yet of the elusive creature. A group of hikers trekking through a remote forest in the United States reported the unsettling feeling that they were being watched. Out of caution, they began recording their surroundings as they moved deeper into the secluded area. Not long after, a massive, ape-like figure covered in dark, reddish-brown hair suddenly charged out from the trees, sending the group running in fear. Later, they were able to capture footage of the same creature moving back into the woods. Believing it didn't pose a threat, they cautiously followed and managed to film additional clips. Some observers noted that the creature's hair seemed to move naturally with its muscles, leading them to believe it wasn't just a costume. Still, skepticism remains, because the video itself doesn't feel entirely convincing, does it? A man reviewing footage from his trail camera set deep in the forest discovered something he hadn't expected. The video revealed a broad-shouldered, heavy-set figure sitting low on the forest floor with its head bent down. Its bulky build and unusual posture didn't resemble any animal or person known to inhabit the area. The camera's owner was convinced it had to be Bigfoot, and truthfully, the tall frame and thick outline seemed to fit the classic description. Skeptics, however, argue it's more likely someone bundled in winter clothing, or perhaps just a trick of the light. Still, looking at the footage, it's hard to deny the resemblance to the legendary creature. In mid-2024, a woman living in Westfield, Wisconsin, received an alert from her backyard security system. When she opened the footage, she was stunned by what it appeared to show: a pale, unclothed humanoid figure moving toward the tree line. Its arms hung abnormally low, stretching well past the knees, and whatever it was, the sight was deeply unsettling. But this is where the doubts start to creep in. Although the clip looks like it came from a home security camera, something seems out of place. In the corner of the frame, a chair is clearly visible, raising the question of why a surveillance camera would be set so low and positioned behind furniture. So the mystery remains: was this authentic evidence of something unknown, or just another AI-generated image crafted to appear real? In July 2010, a man claimed to have captured something extraordinary while hiking deep in a remote forest. He recalled that it was just after sunrise when he noticed movement ahead on the trail. Quickly, he pulled out his camera and began recording. That's when the figure emerged, a tall, shadowy creature walking upright. Holding what appeared to be a smaller one in its arms. He didn't move closer. Instead, he stayed frozen, filming in shock, unable to process what he was witnessing. Some believe this may be among the clearest Bigfoot recordings ever made, noting how the creature's movement seemed unusually fluid, eerily reminiscent of the famous Patterson-Gimlin film from 1967. Skeptics, however, dismiss it as nothing more than another elaborate hoax. So what do you think? Could this be real evidence, or just another staged sighting? A man hiking near Shaver Lake, California, reported stumbling upon several large human-like footprints along the trail. Though he didn't provide exact measurements, they were noticeably larger than a normal foot. Later, while posing for a photo with a fish he had caught, something strange appeared in the background. A tall, dark, ape-like figure. The shape looked slim, with a cone-shaped head and dark fur covering its body. Some even speculated it might have been a female Bigfoot carrying an infant. Given the footprints found earlier, the possibility can't be dismissed outright. But with the photo lacking clarity, there wasn't enough detail to rule out other explanations. A man set out alone for a winter hike in the Pandorale National Wildlife Refuge, returning to the same area where he had first noticed unusual tracks back in 2013. Those earlier prints measured nearly 15 inches long and appeared to be barefoot. This time, buried deep in the snow, he discovered fresh tracks.
I've seen a lot of deer and elk and some moose tracks down here. And I came across this. Hope you can see it. Those sure do look like toes to me. I see about 5, maybe 4 for sure. It's about 5 inches wide, and if that is a big toe to the heel, it's about 13.5 inches. But it looks like some impressions going that way, right towards the water's edge. So there it is. Won't know more until I cast it and see what kind of details come out of it, but it sure looks like a footprint.
They were clear, 5-toed footprints, 13.5 inches long and 5 inches wide, stretching across a frozen lake. No other tracks led in or out, just a clean line that vanished into the ice. He attempted to make a plaster cast of one print, but the snow melted too quickly. In the end, only his photos and measurements remained as evidence of the mysterious find. A strange clip from Australia surfaced not long ago, showing a boy quietly staring at a fire deep within the woods. A young man filming for his survival channel was documenting the scene when something completely unexpected unfolded. He exclaimed as a massive figure suddenly emerged from the tree line. Rather than running away, the boy tossed something at it, only provoking the creature further. The figure responded with aggression, charging quickly in their direction. Online viewers were quick to label it a possible Yowie, the legendary cryptid said to roam Australia's wilderness. Others argue it could have been nothing more than a person in a costume, deliberately trying to frighten hikers. As for the cameraman, he admitted he isn't certain what he witnessed, but whatever it was, it seemed more beast-like than human. In 2021, a strange photograph emerged from Alaska. It was said to have been taken by a 10-year-old boy who had been playing just beyond his family's backyard. While alone in the woods, he noticed a tall, dark, upright figure and quickly snapped a picture before sprinting back home. Some argue the image resembles nothing more than a person dressed in a costume. while others insist it could be authentic. Either way, the idea of encountering something like that so close to home is undeniably unsettling. A trail camera positioned deep in the forest recorded a peculiar image. It appeared to show a large, heavy-set figure climbing up a wooded slope, its body seemingly covered in dark fur. Some argue it could simply be a bear, but the posture doesn't seem to line up with that explanation. Skeptics suggest the odd appearance might be caused by motion blur, or perhaps just the angle of the shot. Still, the question remains: was it merely a bear, or did the camera capture something far more mysterious? In late October 2023, a man from the family-run TikTok account WV Paranormal was walking through the woods behind his home in the Appalachian region when he came across something unsettling. The footage shows a tall, upright, hair-covered figure standing completely motionless among the trees. Moments later, it slowly turns, before disappearing back into the forest. With the Appalachian Mountains already known for decades of unusual reports, this video only deepens the mystery. Cryptid researcher Philip Cannella was hiking through Danes Dyke in Bridlington, UK, on April 26, 2025, when he captured something unusual on camera. The photograph appeared to show what some believe might be a dogman, a tall, humanoid figure with a dome-shaped head, partially hidden by a slope and visible only from the waist up. Philip estimated the figure stood somewhere between 7 and 8 feet tall. While Dogman encounters are most often associated with the United States, the UK has also reported its share of unsettling cases. Could this image be one of them? One night, a man was making his way through the woods when he began hearing strange noises echoing around him. Uneasy, he swept his flashlight across the trees but found nothing unusual. Then, without warning, he spotted something. And to this day, no one knows exactly who or what he captured on camera. In another case, a man hiking through the Australian outback noticed a hunched figure moving between the trees. At first, he assumed it was just a kangaroo, but when he zoomed in for a closer look, he realized it was something else entirely. Near Bartlett, New Hampshire, a woman took her dog for a walk in the woods behind her home. Her normally confident, large dog suddenly began acting strangely, hesitant, fearful, and refusing to move forward. Moments later, she caught a foul odor in the air, something that smelled like decay. An uneasy feeling washed over her, and she pulled out her phone to record the area. That's when she captured something unexpected. Both she and her dog froze, crouching behind a bush in an attempt to stay hidden. When the creature finally seemed far enough away, they bolted, sprinting out of the forest. For the woman, it was the single most terrifying experience she had ever endured. While hiking through the forest, this individual managed to capture something difficult to explain. In the distance, a dark, upright figure moved steadily between the trees. Its size was striking, appearing massive against the thin tree trunks and sparse underbrush. The figure's build was unmistakable: broad shoulders, long arms, and a hunched neck, features that align closely with countless classic Bigfoot descriptions. There was no sign of outdoor gear, no backpack, nothing that would indicate it was just another person out for a hike. On a cold autumn day, a man was hiking through a forest in Kentucky when he heard the sound of heavy footsteps coming from the other side of a hill. Moments later, an enormous figure suddenly appeared. Panicked, the man bolted, snapping a quick photo as he fled. The creature seemed close to 10 feet tall, with thick legs, massive feet, and broad shoulders. Strangely, its head looked small in proportion to the rest of its body. Experts often say that Bigfoot is typically reported at around 7 to 9 feet in height, making this one even larger. So the question remains, was it truly Bigfoot, or something else entirely? A dark figure was spotted on Google Earth near Montrose, Colorado, at the coordinates 38°16'24", north 108°08'32" west. The shape bore a striking resemblance to the classic outline of a walking Sasquatch. It appeared in a single satellite image taken in 2019, but in the other captures of the same location, it was gone. That detail confirmed it wasn't just a tree or a rock formation, but rather something that had been moving at the time. So what exactly was it? A recently released game camera photo has stirred debate, with many saying it could be the clearest image of Bigfoot ever captured. The figure looks powerfully built, with massive shoulders, thick arms, and a wide chest, traits not often visible in previous sightings. It's the clarity of the picture that drives the controversy. For skeptics, it looks a little too convincing, while for believers, it's far too compelling to dismiss. On May 19, 2025, a solo hiker exploring along the New Jersey River captured something unusual on camera.
It's right there above my finger, behind the tree. I can see it, barely. Look! 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 Holy shit. Right there, look. It's going up the hill. It's going up the hill.
Though the footage was blurry, it clearly revealed a two-legged figure running, noticeably larger than an average human. The man, who frequently hikes those woods, said he had never encountered anything like it before. New Jersey's wilderness, especially regions like Sussex County and the Pine Barrens, has long carried a reputation for strange and unexplained sightings. This incident only adds another chilling entry to that ongoing history. A farmer in Buenos Aires uploaded a video online, asking for help in identifying what he had filmed.
¿Qué? No sé qué es un chabón. ¿Qué es eso? No sé si es una persona o qué. A una persona pareciera, ¿no? Qué boludo, qué raro.
The footage shows a tall, dark figure moving swiftly across his field. It appeared to stand close to 8 feet tall, walking upright with long strides that cut through the tall grass. There were no animals nearby, and its movements didn't resemble any species the farmer recognized. Some suggested it might be the Yasi Yatare, a lesser-known forest being from local folklore. But this figure seemed far larger, more in line with classic Bigfoot descriptions. Whatever it was, the farmer admitted he had no explanation for what his camera had captured. In July 2021, a couple was hiking the Lover's Lane Trail in Olympic National Park, following the Solduke River. As they admired the scenery, they noticed a dark, motionless figure in the distance. It never moved during the time they observed it, so they assumed it was nothing more than a fallen tree and continued on their way, though they snapped a quick photo before leaving. Later, they ran that image through a Google search tool, and the results suggested something unexpected. Perhaps it hadn't been just a tree stump after all. While hiking through a dense forest in Spain, someone recorded a strange, echoing growl coming from deep within the trees. No animal or figure was ever seen, and the true source of the roar remains a mystery. Feeling unsafe, the hiker quickly left the area after capturing the sound. Now the clip circulates online, leaving viewers to wonder what could have produced such a chilling noise. Nikki set out on a solo camping trip deep in the backcountry. The roads were still damaged from Hurricane Helene, but she managed to reach a remote clearing and set up camp. During a short hike before sunset, she suddenly heard knocking sounds coming from the woods.
I thought I heard some knocking coming from that direction. Kinda sound like somebody knocking on a tree. But, could have been a woodpecker or anything like that, I guess.
She returned to camp, set up lights, and called her husband. Later that night, while checking around, they discovered something unexpected.
I don't know. It's big, though. Huge. It's a big old track. Compared to my foot, compared to yours, but it's still big.
As long as it's right here. Like you said.
Yeah. Shine your headlight down in there so we can get a better view of it. Be careful. Look up at those trees. That's just piles and piles of trees.
What they found nearby was a large footprint. Disturbed by the sounds and the eerie setting of the woods, they decided to call it a night and leave first thing in the morning. Late one night near Nakusp, two women were driving back from Halfway Hot Springs when they pulled over along the highway around 9:30 p.m. One of them stepped outside briefly, only for a deep, echoing howl to break the silence. Startled, she rushed back into the car. Moments later, a large, black, fur-covered figure darted across the road. It moved upright on two legs, too tall and too fast to be mistaken for a bear. One of the women managed to snap 2 photos just after it crossed. They left the area shaken and confused, uncertain of what they had just seen. While walking through the woods in Pennsylvania with his friend Gavin, 15-year-old Lucas was suddenly overwhelmed by a foul odor. At first, he assumed it meant there was a dead animal nearby and pulled out his phone. But then he got the eerie feeling that he was being watched. Through the trees, he spotted a massive, crouched, ape-like figure, completely silent, staring straight at him. Lucas managed to snap a photo, then began recording as the figure stood up and walked away. It looked far too human to be a bear, yet far too unusual to be a person. Ever since, Lucas has replayed the footage again and again, still shaken by what he captured that day. While reviewing footage from a trail camera in Connorsville, Indiana, the owner was stunned by what appeared on the screen. The recording showed a large figure moving through the woods at night. Could it have been nothing more than someone pulling a prank? Or was it something far stranger? Skeptics argue that anyone could dress in a suit, but running through a forest in full Bigfoot gear in total darkness isn't exactly easy to pull off. So the question remains, what did this camera really capture? A recent video filmed near Kentucky Ridge Forest has stirred up debate within the Bigfoot community.
Are you kidding me right now? Are you joking right now? Look at the house. People's.
According to the witness, the creature had been causing disturbances on the property for some time, but this was the first occasion they managed to capture it on video. The clip ends abruptly, leaving many viewers questioning how authentic it really is. And of course, the recurring question arises, why do nearly all supposed Bigfoot recordings end up so blurry? That's all for tonight's video. Which encounter gave you chills? Let us know in the comments below. Got your own experience? We want to hear it. And whatever you do, don't miss what's coming next.